Hey everybody, OmniDog here with OmniDog's Vault and diet root beer reviews. OmniDog went to the vet yesterday and the vet said OmniDog has to lose weight. I said, hey, I'm not paying you to tell me about my health. And he disagreed. And so now I'm drinking diet root beer on ice. Ugh. So we're going to have to take a break from floats, but I'll still be drinking root beer, sort of. But let's stop talking about my problems, talking about books for you. First up on Root Beer Reviews, we've got Greg Rucka's Veil. Usually I do an on the radar book and an under the radar book, but today I'm going to do two under the radar books because I wanted to and it's my show. So, yeah, I decided to do it. So, Veil, let's read the story on the back to give you a little taste of what it is. A beautiful woman wanders out of an abandoned subway tunnel with no memory of who she is or how she got there. She wanders out naked, by the way. Now Veil, her name, must figure out whom to trust and what she is, an object of desire or a force to be reckoned with, as her past is revealed. So let's take a look at some of the artwork here. The artwork is by this person's name, whom I cannot pronounce. Tony Fazula? Pasta Fazula? Tony, sorry, dude, or woman, ma'am. I'm sorry. I can't pronounce it. But I like the art a lot. It's got a lot of really cool shading. Colors are muted in certain scenes and very beautiful. I really liked this art. It's very different, as you can see. It's not quite like most American comics are. Let's take another peek at some of the artwork. So it's a little grisly scene. She comes out of the subway not speaking very much, except they figure out her name is Veil. She wanders out of the subway naked, encounters a gang of jerks. One guy has a heart of gold, takes her in, and tries to help her. He seems to be the only one who tries to help her. Everybody else tries to take advantage of her. He gives her clothes, takes her to a place to eat, and she has no memory of where she is, where she was, where she is, who she is. I'm going to get it right. And has no memory. There's another plot going on that involves her. I won't give that away because that would give the book away. But suffice to say that there are nefarious doings going on regarding Veil. She is a woman that many people want, and she is not quite what she seems. Now, this is written by Greg Rucka, who is an automatic buy for me. Greg Rucka and Ed Brubaker are two writers that I often will buy no matter what. They're absolute buys for me. This is a little bit lightweight for me to come from Greg Rucka. Given the stuff that he does, the story, I think we've sort of seen it before, what happens in it. It's not really that new. It's kind of interesting that she doesn't know who she is, but what she turns into is, I don't know, sort of interesting, but it didn't really captivate me, didn't really capture my fancy. I'm a little disappointed, especially because it's Greg Rucka. It's left with a very open-ended conclusion, so if you're not into open-ended conclusions, if you need a hard and set end to a story, you're not going to like this a bit. It's got a very open-ended conclusion that left me wanting more. And here I can't show you a whole lot further into the book without giving it away. The art is the high point of this book because I found the story a little thin. as I said, and not really. I kind of didn't really get invested in the character. Um, Maybe it needed to be fleshed out a little more. And I don't know why my voice is going up like this, but it needed to be fleshed out a little more. There needed to be a little more substance to this book, I thought. I don't think this is one of Greg Rucka's better books. It's put out by Dark Horse. It's a nice hardback. And as I say, the artwork is a plus. Um, but there was an interesting little twist in how communication is done with rats. Um, how the people involved send rats out to do their communicating for them. If you read the book, you'll see what I mean. But I'm not sure that I'm completely sold on this book. I don't think I can really recommend it. I think it was just a little too much of a kind of empty calorie kind of thing. It wasn't my favorite Greg Rucka book, and that's painful for me to say because I really dug all the other stuff that Greg Rucka's done. So I'm sorry, but it didn't move me. Now, the other under the radar book moved me greatly. It's a humanoids book called Different Ugliness, Different Madness. This book was great. Brilliant art as usual, with a captivating story that keeps you guessing. Here's some of the art. It's in black and white, as you can see, with very nice bold lines. The color in there is my fingers. So we can take a look at this, and you can see how really brilliant the artist uses black in this. And it's a French name. Here, you deal with it. Looks like he did the art and the writing. I'll read to you the synopsis on the back. In the golden age of radio, the attractive and sexy voice of Lloyd Goodman fills the airwaves. But the playboy of radio has a secret that eventually drives him to a life of solitude and depression. Helen, a stunningly beautiful woman, travels aimlessly around the country in hopes of escaping a tragic past. A chance encounter between the two will change their lives forever. And so, what we have is a woman on the road traveling with her twin, or is she? And we've got an unattractive man who's a recluse who meets up with her by chance. We also have a famous radio star who's making a comeback after a long break. The story is told in a back and forth timeline that's easy to follow. This is a timeline that you will not have a problem with. It makes sense. It's very well put together. The story is extremely good and very well put together. Very easy to follow, but it does throw a couple of twists at you. And of course, you need to read it all the way through to the end. I almost didn't get to the twist at the end because I thought the book was over. I can tell you, make sure you read it to the very last page because I almost didn't catch the twist because it was a gray page and I thought, oh, well, it's the end of the book. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings, the final Lord of the Rings movie where there's a couple of final scenes in it. Of course, Lord of the Rings had like 5 final scenes, but this book had a couple of extra scenes at the end that made sense for everything. Both the main characters are very relatable and human. They've both gone through some pain, you can tell. The story is really about the woman's development as we get to see her age and mature and become a different person. It's just a remarkable story that I will be happy to reread. I'm happy to recommend it. The story just seemed quite real to me, telling the story of 2 people in pain that just have a chance encounter and what they go through together for the little bit of time they spend together. Their interaction seems natural. what's natural is my tongue twist. Their interactions seem natural, and the story flows beautifully. It goes, as I said, back and forth in a timeline. From Helene's perspective, that's the woman's name, even though they don't exchange names in their um, encounter. I believe the woman's name is Helene, and she it's kind of her story by the end of the book. I cannot recommend this book highly enough. It is well worth owning, not expensive. It looks like it's free. There's no price on it. How much was it? Well, I don't know. You're going to have to search it out because it's not here. Um, it's a it's a thin book. I read it easily in an hour or so. Certainly better than the last Humanoids book I read. Let's see if I can find the price on this book, just to show myself that I can do it. I can't do it. I don't see a price for it. It wasn't expensive. You will want to read this book slowly, enjoy the art, enjoy the good writing, enjoy the twists it takes, feel the pain that both characters go through, and you will really experience a wonderful, wonderful story. This gets my highest recommendation. It is really well told. It's probably the least European of the European books I've read. It translated very well to this American's taste. I'm aware that a Frenchman wrote it, but it translated very well into, it's about America, so it translated very well over into U.S. tastes. And I just can't say enough about this book. This is one of the better books that I've read this year. It's old though. It's not a new book. I got it a couple years ago, but I just got around to reading it like I do with everything else. So I highly recommend Different Ugliness, Different Madness by Humanoids. And before we go, let me take another sip of Diet Root Beer. Oh, this is going to be hard. I'm not digging it. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Leave your comments below. I always respond to every one of them. So thank you very much. I appreciate everybody that subscribes and leaves comments. It's really great. And I will try and review whatever books you leave for me to review. I take suggestions. Happy to do it. Thanks a lot.